Hey guys, I'm Barbara from Curl Vitality, and today we are going to have a lesson on Protein for Hair 101. So grab your favorite protein mask. I'm going to be using the Ecoslay Matcha Boost Protein Mask, and let's get started. What's up guys? I'm so excited about today's video because this is one of my, honestly, products I have been gatekeeping. Let's be honest, I've been straight up gatekeeping this product. I am not even going to lie about that. I'm telling you right now, this product, if I had to unveil my secret curl coaching methods to you, many of it would be surrounding the product that we were talking about today and protein. Somewhere along the line of curl coaching, even though I have more of kind of a classic curly cue, I really started to take a lot of wavy clients, and a lot of my curl coaching clients have been primarily wavy haired people, which I've kind of become this self-proclaimed wavy doctor. I just made up this name, but we're going with it. And I'm really good at making waves come out better than anyone I've ever seen, and I really truly am not just saying that. So today we're going to get into some of the nitty-gritties of protein. We're also going to be talking about and doing my favorite protein mask ever, which is the Ecoslay Matcha Boost mask. This mask is unmatched. It is like no other mask you have ever used in your life. I promise you that. And the fact that it is in our September 22 Curls monthly mailer is insane. When I got a hold of this brand, I was like, I need to have that mask in there. Wavies and curlies and everybody else, but specifically wavy hair people really love this mask. From all over the world, need this. You need to see for yourself the absolute magic that this mask brings you. And I really hope that you know I do not say this lightly. Your life is about to be changed. If you need protein, if your hair is someone who needs protein, your life is about to be changed by this mask. So before I get into some protein facts, let's first talk about this mask. The product this size retails at $13.30, and Ecoslay really prides themselves on eco-friendly packaging. So you can actually on the Ecoslay website buy little mason jars to put this in. They're super cute. They say Ecoslay on them. And all Ecoslay products are recommended to be kept in the refrigerator. The reason why is Ecoslay does not put preservatives in their products, and these products can go bad and sour on the shelf. So these are really plant-based, healthy products, and they are meant to be kept in the refrigerator. This mask is meant to bring strength back into your curls, and let me tell you, it does exactly that. It is actually so good at its job that my hair that's super sensitive to protein, I'm not going to do it on my entire head of hair today because my hair doesn't need that much protein today. But I am going to do it today on these little curls next to my ears right here that never seem to curl properly. I literally just pulled out a grain of rice from my hair. There was a grain of dried rice in my hair. I did have rice for lunch, but I don't know, things get lost in there. But these guys over here never curl like the rest of my hair. And I am going to do this protein treatment so they can begin to help curl like the rest of my hair. I definitely have noticed that when I do protein, these babies soar and the rest of my hair kind of suffers because my hair is not something that really needs protein too much, which I will get into why in a moment. But looking at the ingredients on this, super small ingredient list. First ingredient after water is cetearyl alcohol. If you know me, you know I love cetearyl alcohol. It is a moisturizing agent. Alcohols bring water into your hair by kind of magnetizing moisture. So alcohols themselves are not moisturizing, but they're like a magnet to moisture to bring that into your hair. Next ingredient we have is canola oil. Canola oil can also go by rapeseed oil, but in this case, canola oil is fantastic for supporting hair growth and supporting lack of hair damage. Next up on the list, we have probably one of the biggest hero ingredients in this product, which is the hydrolyzed quinoa. Hydrolyzed quinoa comes from quinoa plants, and it's chock full of amino acids. Amino acids are a huge protein to your hair. Anytime really you see the word hydrolyze in front of another word in a product, it means that it's a protein ingredient. So the hydrolyzed quinoa is about as protein ingredient as protein ingredients can get. It repels damage and is actually great for hair growth. The next ingredient on the list is hydrolyzed keratin, which is huge, and we're going to get into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty of keratin in a second. Basically, adding keratin to your hair almost like turns back the time, reverses damage. It's a very layman's way of putting it, and you'll see what I mean in a second, but that's basically what it does. This is a miracle product for people with damaged hair. Hydrolyzed keratin also increases density, which is always nice. So protein 101, let's talk about who, what, when, where, why protein. We've heard of moisture probably at this point in our lives. Moisture is a very obvious thing, I think. You know, you buy conditioners to moisturize your hair. You probably somewhat have gathered over the years of your life that moisture makes your hair soft and luscious and maybe takes away a lot of frizz. So protein is similar to moisture in the way that it also hydrates your hair, but protein hydrates your hair in a way that moisture is not able to. So a lot of times after we get some type of damage done to our hair, maybe we straighten our hair, color our hair, do some type of chemical treatment like a Brazilian blowout or something like that, a lot of times people notice that their hair changes. And I noticed that a lot of people, myself included, before I knew, I would add on a bunch of moisture to my hair in hopes to combat whatever was going on with my hair. My hair just wasn't acting the same. So I was like, oh, it needs to be deep conditioned. So I would buy these products with heavy moisturizing ingredients, right? Wrong. What I did not realize was, yes, my hair is lacking hydration, but it's lacking hydration in the way that only protein can provide hydration to your hair. So here's how it works. Our hair is literally strands of protein growing out of our scalp. So that's what these little things are. They're strands of a protein called keratin. These keratin proteins are all over our head, and over time, between touching our hair, brushing our hair, but really more so coloring and not using the best ingredients in your hair and getting keratin treatments and all of those types of things will really impact the keratin strands on your hair. So if you kind of think of your hair strand like a wall, just picture a big white wall. As we touch our hair, imagine that wall gets a punch, a hole punch through it. Then say we color our hair, give that wall 10 hole punches. Then let's say we do a Brazilian blowout to our hair, give that wall 50 punches. What's left of that wall is very holy. There's not too much structure left into it. And that's kind of what happens to our natural protein as we damage it, as we do things that aren't really good. You cannot get through life and not damage your hair in some way, shape, or form. Like, it's going to get damaged as the days go on. Like I said, even just touching it damages it. But obviously we can help not doing those crazy kind of worse things to our hair that really damage the keratin protein of our hair. Basically, because our hair is made up of protein, and over time that protein gets punched and broken down, which, by the way, that's how your hair starts breaking off. Because if you have this big wall and you start punching these holes in it, eventually those holes are going to kind of like overlap, and that's when gigundous like areas of the wall are going to collapse. So that's kind of what happens to your hair when it breaks and frays, is that there's just nothing there to hold it together. So it just kind of like whittles away and falls off. I hope that these weird imagery things work for you, because they work for me. Another way to think of it, which is definitely something that's helped me over time, is thinking about SpongeBob. So in the theme song, they say absorbent and yellow, and porous is he. SpongeBob is porous, meaning he has a lot of those punches in his wall. He has a lot of those holes in his skin. When SpongeBob, he lives in water, but when SpongeBob is put inside of like the Goo Lagoon, or like he's like drinking water, he fills up. And his body absorbs all of the water or whatever that he is in. So that's what happens to a lot of times with people who have a lot of holes in their hair, is that their hair fills up way too much with water. It gets wet way too fast. It retains moisture way too much. So that hair is then not able to hold a curl. It gets very wimpy, kind of like these hairs over here. You can see the big difference between the rest of the hair. Like these other hairs like have a nice bounce to them. They're springy. These hairs are wimpy. They're over moisturized. They're porous. They're filled with moisture because the protein has worn away, leaving way too much holes in the walls of these hair like SpongeBob. And so these type of hairs are sucking in all of the water and retaining all of the water because that's what they do now. Where protein comes in your products is that we are now able to kind of reverse time, go back in time, and almost stucco the walls with fake protein or with protein that's not from our hair. So imagine these holes in our hair. Now we're able to take stucco on the walls and we're able, is it stucco? Whatever that stuff is that you fill in the walls with, and you fill in those big gaps in the walls or in your hair. And what that does is now there's less holes in your hair to suck up water. Like if you clogged all of SpongeBob's holes, he wouldn't be able to suck up water anymore. So what the protein in the products does is that it stuccos, it closes off some of those holes that we create through damage. And in return, our hair does not soak up as much moisture, which means it's able to curl and spring and bounce more because it's not weighed down with water. So let's be clear, every single person in the entire world needs protein. People who have more damaged hair tend to need protein more. People who have wavier or looser hair patterns also tend to need protein more. If your hair is falling flat after a short amount of time, it's not holding its curl pattern, you are someone who needs protein. If you are someone who has frizzy hair, drier hair, their hair stays in their shape pretty well, they don't really have too many problems in that area, you probably don't really need protein. I mean, everybody needs it a little bit, but you would be kind of like me and maybe only use it on some spots, etc., etc. So without further ado, I am going to go get my hair wet and apply the mask to just these strands. I'm going to keep it on there for just 10 minutes. Rinse it off, and I will come back when it's dry to show you the difference between my strands now and what my strands will look like in about an hour. Okay, final results. There is an absolute difference. That is that same curl. These are those same exact curls. That is insane. This is exactly what I mean. This is exactly what protein does. I mean, these curls are always a little bit different, but like the difference between what it was before, and that was only like day 2, maybe 3, I think it was 2 curls. So it's not even like they were like super stretched out. I never put my hair in a ponytail. That is crazy. Moral of the story, I'm in love with this product. If you are signed up for the September Curls Monthly, you'll get to try it for yourself. And I know you're gonna love it and wanna buy the full thing. So I put the link below to get yours, as well as a nice little discount code, which is always nice. If this video helped you at all, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time.